how many more minutes it'll take. So I don't think, because they've not really given a proper estimation. So I don't think we should go forward.
I can see. I'm not scheduled anything else for this time.
Right.
I can.
Yeah.
Shabri, Pawan, I think we've gone live already. I can see that.
Fantastic.
1 second.
Go forward.
I think so. I think we are live.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome on behalf of WIPRO Limited to our pre-placement talk. So without further ado, I think we've gone past a lot of time already. So I will introduce our speaker for today. Our speaker is Mr. Pawan N. Rao. He is the General Manager and CFO for WIPRO Engineering. He has over 14 plus years of experience in WIPRO. Before this, he was the head of finance for utilities vertical, and prior to which he was the head of investor relations. Pawan, I think we can start now already. Over to you. You are on mute, Pawan.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes.
And is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So, good evening. We had some technical difficulties to get this live stream started. So, but here we are. I will try to quickly take you through what WIPRO is, introduce WIPRO to you, as well as introduce the WIPRO Finance Cohort Program, the WIPRO Cohort Program 2023. And then we can have, will we have opportunity for a Q&A, Shabri?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And then we can take some question and answers.
Yep.
Considering the time lost, I'll try to be brief, and then so we can have time for our Q&A. So WIPRO, many of you might have heard of WIPRO, might not know what it is. So we are a company with more than 75-year-old heritage. We were born before independence. We were in the FMCG business. WIPRO Limited branched out into the IT industry. We began with working on outsourced R&D, then entered IT services, then entered the BPO business. We are listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange in India, and in New York Stock Exchange, one of the first Indian companies to do so in the year 2000. We've grown in the last 22 years by adapting to new business models, acquiring companies, including one of the largest cross-border acquisitions in the Indian IT sector, called Capco. We did that acquisition about a year and a half ago. So this is about, in brief nutshell, what WIPRO is. What our vision is: we want to be a trusted partner to our clients, deliver industry-leading value to our clients, and while we are doing it, be ethical, have a commitment to society, and work towards a sustainable planet. We realize our vision through a strategy that's on business transformation, it's on modernization, connected intelligence, trust. Some of these terminologies are related with how we deliver business, which are enabled by talent and delivery model, IP platforms, and open innovation systems. A word about our values. These 4 values are core to WIPRO and whatever we do. Being passionate about client success, treating each person with respect, being global and responsible, and in integrity. Then this slide talks about the 5 WIPRO habits that every WIPROite is encouraged to practice fully. Being respectful, being responsive, always communicating, demonstrating stewardship, and building trust. These habits and the values together form the daily behavioral aspects of a WIPROite, demonstrating the values and demonstrating these habits. What is WIPRO today? We are a leading technology services and consulting firm amongst the top tier service providers for IT services in almost every segment of IT services. Our quarterly revenues are in excess of $2.8 billion per year, and our FY22 revenues was more than $10 billion. We have over 250,000 employees, and we are present in more than 60 countries. One of the other important thing is, while a lot of these business metrics talk about our business scale, WIPRO has deep commitments towards sustainability, society, and ethics. A way of this gets recognized is how we are a member of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index for about the 12th year in a row now. This slide explains to us the business structure, that the way we are organized. We have 4 strategic market units and 2 global business lines. These 4 strategic market units are organized by markets or geography. Americas organized into A1 and A2, Americas 1 and Americas 2, Europe and APMEA. Our horizontals are organized by our capabilities. We have 2 global business lines. IDEAS stands for Integrated Digital Engineering and App Services, and ICORE, standing for Infra Cloud Digital Operations Risk Enterprise Cybersecurity Services. These 2 service lines cater to customers across the 4 strategic market units. In the interest of time, I will move forward, and the next couple of slides are more towards showing you our credentials, our recognitions on WIPRO's commitment to sustainability, WIPRO's commitment to the ESG framework, for being socially responsible, for being a responsible business. An important aspect of WIPRO that I would encourage you to know is that 66% of WIPRO's economic interest is pledged to philanthropy, which means 66% of the economic interest that may come out of capital appreciation of the stock or dividends will eventually be spent for charitable purposes. There's a little bit more data points on the business responsibility that I spoke of, and some more partnerships for our social sector related commitments on inclusion and diversity. With that, let me go over to the second part of my presentation, where I will speak more about the WIPRO cohort program. This slide talks about the finance structure within WIPRO. Let's spend some time on each aspect of this. There is the tax team which works on tax planning and tax management, works with direct tax, indirect tax in India and outside India. Controllership, it's the accounting and reporting function within WIPRO Finance. Work on reporting framework, SOX, consolidation of several subsidiaries and financial reporting for WIPRO, for IFRS, Ind AS, local GAAP requirements for WIPRO subsidiaries in compliance with regulatory requirements in India as well as in the US where we are listed. Treasury and investor relations, manage billions of dollars of cash, investments as well as borrowings. Investor relations works with investors and equity analysts and other stakeholders, managing the relationship and communications. FP&A, standing for financial planning and analysis. This function does budgeting, MIS reporting, target setting, and performance management. Secretarial, this is the company secretarial team, which does regulatory compliance and reporting. Business finance, these are the CFOs to business units. Currently, I manage finance for a business unit called WIPRO Engineering. We do all the financial decision making for our units. Business support, this center of excellence that help with analytics, shared services, order management for contracts, pricing, invoicing, and collections. The internal audit function, this function has an independent reporting directly to the audit committee. This just lays out the broad lay of the land in terms of where within WIPRO Finance you could be working. The cohort program, what will you learn? You get a thorough understanding of finance and its aspects. You'll understand accounting with a practical bent of mind. Understand the IT services business and allied areas. And learn as the company evolves through its acquisition, divestitures, diversifications, newer requirements of global compliance, and so on. About the cohort program itself, it's a 2-year program providing what I will dare say an unparalleled exposure in corporate India through trainings and job rotations. So there is job rotation as a part of the program, and there is training as a part of the program. The curriculums are curated by experts. There are real-world problems and case studies, as well as coaching on behavioral skills. You're mentored by real practitioners working within the organization. You learn on international finance, taxation, accounting, analytics, and any other hot topic that we think that you ought to be learning. It's also a competitive program which rewards the best. The batch toppers and the module toppers get very well sought after recognitions. A word beyond what's written on the slide. This is possibly one of the most sought after programs in corporate India for fresh finance professionals, offering unparalleled learning opportunities. It's a program in its 16th year and has produced tremendous graduates who have gone on to help important areas of responsibility for WIPRO. It is this program that we invite you to apply for. With that, I will stop my brief monologue and hand it over to my colleague, Prateek. He's been a cohort himself, and he will speak to you briefly about his experiences and the experience of other cohort members, and then we will open it up for questions.
Thank you, Pawan. Good evening, everyone. First of all, congratulations to everyone for cracking one of the toughest exams in the country. Good job, everyone. My name is Prateek. I'm from cohorts batch of 2019. So it's been almost 3.5 to 4 years for me in WIPRO. And in this journey, I've had exposure to 2 roles, one of them being FP&A of a business unit, and thereafter in business finance. Just a brief from my end. So when as a freshers you enter into a corporate world from academia, there's a certain kind of mentorship or grooming that is required, in order to present yourself, or in order for you yourself to be refined, to become a refined professionals. This is what cohort program will do to you. It will provide you with diversity, not from academic point of view, but you will interact with people from all around the country with varied experiences. You will so when you work in a large organization, you work in an ecosystem, and in order to work in an ecosystem, you need to build quality relationships. This is what it will do. It will allow you to interact with various people handling different parts of finance structure. It will allow you to interact with best of the best mentors in the organization, and probably structure the way you think and then perform. So let's hear from some of my colleagues who joined cohorts after me, and I was also a buddy for some of them. So probably Shabli, if you could put the next slide. Right. So Janvi says that the program always keeps you engaged, and it breaks the monotony, and it is also really essential for your self-development. Next. Kamla Priya has views that it's a great opportunity for freshers, and I really agree with her. And it allows that grooming which is required when you come in and when you join as a fresher. Next, we have Keshav, who says that it is a very good platform to build long-lasting friendships and relationships within the organization. It also helps with a very good network building. Radhika again says that it brings a lot of diversity into your environment. You interact with a lot of different people. It gives you a lot of good perspective. And then we have Raman, who acknowledges the very essential peer-to-peer learning that we gain from this program. So that would be all, everyone. Happy to take any questions if you have.
Pawan, so there's a question for you on the chat box. So it's from Mohan. He asks if you can share your journey as your first role in growth in WIPRO.
Sure, if I'm visible and audible.
Yes, you are.
Interestingly, I went through the finance cohort program myself. I'm an alumnus. I'm from the first batch of alumnus of the cohort program. The structure was slightly different, but fundamentally the tenets of rotation and trainings were the same. I had my rotations in investor relations and business finance. Learned a lot. Learned in 2 years what my colleagues or my friends who joined other companies would probably learn 4 or 5 years in other companies, simply because of the role rotation exposure that I got. Also learned on topics of international gaps, generally accepted accounting practices. We were, as a chartered accountant, I had been only exposed to the ICAI curriculum back then, which was only about Indian gap. More importantly, the camaraderie and friendship of my entire batchmates. We learned from each other. We competed in the programs, and there was cooperative competition. We learned as well as competed, and the organization rewarded and recognized the best of the batch, spurred on more competition for learning. So it's a great experience, and given an opportunity, I'll just do it all over again. The exposure I got in investor relations and business finance provided solid foundations to my career thereafter. Shabri, do we have other questions?
Yeah, hi. So we just got one more from Mohan, the same person again. So this is for Pratik. He's asking if you can talk about your work-life balance.
Okay, so when you join the organization initially, you might find it challenging. You might find it challenging to understand, few of the lingos that we use or the way of working that we do. But the great thing about WIPRO is everyone is ready to help you in each and every way. They will go out of their way to help you out. Make you feel very comfortable. So obviously, during the initial phases, your work-life balance could be a challenge. But once you are committed to your role, and once you are more comfortable with what you do, once you're more comfortable with the new challenges that you experience, it is a great journey. It might happen that if you start enjoying your work, time might flew by and you might not even notice. There are a few situations wherein because of the kind of work, because of the business requirement, you might need to stretch a bit, but the work-life balance is excellent. You get a whole lot of opportunity to spend time with your family and friends, create a new habit, create a new hobby, and yes, it's a very enriching journey in the pro.
All right, great. I don't think I see any more questions. So for anybody else who has any questions after watching the recording, please mail your questions to finance.cohorts@wipro.com. I'll repeat that again, finance.cohorts@wipro.com. And we will revert back to you as soon as we get your questions on mail. Apart from that, I think it's been a great talk. We can end the session here. Thank you, Pawan. Thank you, Pratik. And yeah, this is from WIPRO Limited. We are all signing off right now. Thank you.